Well, hello everyone. Long time no video. Well, that's because life. And there's the old Moscow Moto Nomad that for some reason I just end up leaving the rain cover on constantly. I think I'm going to pull the water bladder out of this for the time being. Not right this second. Today on Face Fail Marketplace locally, found a never been used Camelback with the insulated cover over the tube and in FDE or Coyote Brown, one of the two, for $10. Couldn't pass that up. Holds more water than this, but if I pulled the bladder all the way out of this, number one, I'd stop getting a wet crotch and butt on the seat when this thing gets moved around. There's no cover for this unless I make one or find one to buy. There's not enough room to put this thing all the way up here and it stay here out of the way. So if I could scrunch this thing up a little more by not having it in there, that'd be awesome. It's not perfect for the KLR, but anyways, today's video is going to be about the MotoZ Tractionator GPS tires. I did not a review, more of a comparison to the Shinko 804 805s. Because it was just off the cuff and that's how it turned out. But I hadn't run them long enough to make a full review, and at the time I was really enjoying them. I had them over aired and they were still outperforming everything. My only big huge complaint was the fact that they were noisy on the road. And as you can see, and I'll put some actual still pictures up, there's the wear bar. I haven't even touched it yet. I keep waiting and waiting, but ain't hit it yet. But this tire's out of round, and I'll show you a picture of what that's done. And there's no balancing it out when the mold of the tire actually does this. So I've been dealing with it, but it's actually messed up the chain guard where it hangs down. I'll toss a picture of that up. And I know they've redesigned them. This is the first version. There's a version 2. But and yes, even though there's an arrow pointing one way, supposedly you get better off-road traction, not quite as good on-road if you flip them backwards, and you get double the wear out of it, supposedly, which I'm sure you do. I'm not about to. I'm actually about to put my 804 back on the front and a new 805 on the rear, but this is supposedly taken care of on the new design. I don't totally believe it, but got a lot of miles. I have to look to find out. I believe I put these on at the 13 to 14,000 range mark, and they had 2,000 on them supposedly. I'm at 21,000. Now I'm used to tires with softness hardness ratios to where the front tire lasts for approximately 2 rear tires. Even if I'd have flipped this, I don't think it'd be like 1 1/16 rear tires. Weird ratio for me. See, there's the wear bar, not far from it, even though there's a lip up front, but that's a whole other thing. So that's kind of weird for me, but yeah, it is what it is. And by the way, I don't have the mic plugged up internally, so the riding I do, there might be some wind noise. This is something else I might do a review on after I have it a little longer. The Sedici ADV series. I have the Icon level 2 D30 armor in the back, and I think this got the level 2 that came with it here and on the elbows. Nothing hard, but not like my other jacket. But It has the rain insert or waterproofing insert to zip into it, but it's lightweight otherwise. And actually kind of cool. Now if I lived in the desert, I wouldn't have a mesh jacket, but I live in Florida, and that sounded like a thumper. We'll find out. I live in Florida where it's humid, and doggone it, it helps in this humidity to have a mesh jacket. So yeah, the audio is going to be weird going down the road. Matter of fact, I might cut it off here for a second, because I'm not bothering to plug up the microphone inside my helmet. So on that note, adios. Whew. Alright, well that was weird. I had to run back home. DHL showed that my stuff was signed for, my delivery, that I didn't think was going to make it today. And I was like, I ain't signed for nothing. It was in my mailbox. So I don't know what the deal was there, but the last rain washed the road out a little bit. That's something for my personal channel, I guess. I got a Pine phone from Pine 64. It's a Linux phone. Alright, can you hear the tires? That was the center strip I was swaying off of and going back to. I don't know how much the noise cancel will take care of that. Or get rid of that sound, take care of it. I do have the wind reduction setting turned on. Anyways, that sound, the tires, they're noisy. Said that with my not a review. They haven't gotten any quieter, that's for sure. And I don't even know if I can get all the way down here because of the amount of rain. But we're going to see. But the MotoZ Tractionator Adventures, they really impressed the crap out of me to begin with. Yeah, there's still a river running through it. That's what I was wondering. I'm not going to go back here and find out how deep that possibly is washed out, because it does that from time to time. Washes out. This is nothing new. And it's probably not that bad, but I'm not going to do it. That's the railroad tracks. That's a pretty swift moving water. I mean, it's probably fine, but I'm by myself and I'm just trying to talk to a dang camera and can't spit this out fast enough, apparently. But yeah, they impressed the crap out of me to begin with, and as I started wearing in, I became less impressed with them. I mean, I still have the noise on the road, but the more they wore in, the less stable it felt on the road, which I wasn't going to knock them too bad for that, because they are more of a knobby more aggressive knobby. But when they stop being, I don't know why I just downshifted there. When they stop being as good in the dirt, and I'm not even talking sand, I'm talking hard pack with a little loose on top, like what I'm riding right now, along with a little bit of dirt on pavement, boy, they got squirrely. No confidence. Started feeling like I had to be careful. But that only got worse as they wore in. Now, I am trying to get all of my $20 worth out of these tires, or as much as I can stand. But as long as the yellow flies aren't going to carry me off and eat me alive, I'll stop here for a second and finish this tire review with all the traffic going by. So yeah, they've gotten squirrely on me. The front tire I expected to last a little longer and a little better shape than it has. The rear is wearing like iron, but it is out of round. It actually does this on its carcass, and that is worn on the chain side, where the inside of the chain guard goes down low. It's actually wobbled over so many times that you can still hear it catching if you push the bike backwards. Tick, 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 tick. It's the section of side knobbies as they come past that are as they bow out when they come by. But it's actually melted the plastic all the way through about this long. I'll pop a picture of that up. For the price that they are new, I mean, my curiosity wants to try it one more time with a new set and make sure that they all don't do that, and the new design front tire doesn't wear the same, and see if it lasts any differently, if they, you know, are different hardness of rubber or not. But at the price they are, not worth it for me. If they were only incrementally better with the new version and not having an out around carcass, I'm not sure that's worth for me money wise. I don't mind paying good money for a tire that just deserves it, because it does exactly what I need it to do. I need it to last, especially if it's not a cheap tire. I need it to do okay lasting on pavement, because this is my everyday bike. But I do constantly go off-road, and not just gravel roads, hard pack roads, fire roads, that sort of thing. I go off-road, so it needs to perform off-road, not just unpaved roads, but actual off-roading. The 804 805s that I compared them to in the last video, they have no lateral stability because they're open channels. They clear mud nicely as far as slinging it off, but on the same note, when you hit mud, they just slip out. So you have to ride accordingly, and I don't like that. But I'm going to deal with it for right now until I decide which tire I'm going to try next. I really want to try a couple of the more aggressive knobbies like the Tusk D Sport, but they're not tubeless, so that's one thing not in its favor for me. And I don't think they'll last long enough. Just like a D606 costs more than the D Sport, but it won't last long enough. So here we are. I'm almost worn these things out. Let's see, 13, 14, 13ish, 14ish. In that area, like high 13, low 14,000 when I put these tires on. I'm at 21,113 now. They had 2,000 miles on them, so I can math, but I'm going to do this right in front of you. This is 21,113. That's the mileage right this second on this day, which is June the 12th. And let's call it, and I think it was less mileage than this, or less miles on the odometer, but I'm going to put 13,000 900 just for the heck of it. That's 7,213 miles. I might even look it up here real quick to see where the mileage was. But then you add 2 to that, that's 9,200 miles. Let's look it up. I really want to give you the info. I'm curious myself. Let's browse records. 13,840. Okay. 840. So that's 7,273 miles. And then I'm going to add 2,000, even though I don't know if that's the right number. That was a guess from the previous owner of the tires. Yeah, 9,200 miles. The front still got some life left in it. It went on about 200 miles later, to be honest, so it's about 9,000 miles. The rear was the most worn when I put it on, because the guy I got him from has a heavy throttle hand, pops wheelies on a DR650. The center had shown wear. The front didn't when I put it on. Still haven't hit the wear bar on the rear, and I've been heavy throttle handed on that thing. Still got 9,200 out of the rear, and it could probably do 200 to 400 miles more easy before hitting the wear bar. Probably more, because it just seems to have steel for center tread at this point. I don't know what to say about that, but it just doesn't seem to want to finish wearing out. So there's my review-ish kind of thing on these tires. The more they wore, the less impressed I was. I'm not willing to spend the kind of money they want for those tires to try out the new version of the front tire. Take the risk that the rear will have a wobble in its molding. That's not high quality, high price for me to have issues like that to worry about. So my search will go on. I'll just go back to the 804, 805s, because I can make them work for me. If I pay good money for a tire, it's got to be of high quality and last, along with still doing pretty decent, that, you know, unicorn, good off-road, and do okay on the pavement. I don't care if it's awesome on the pavement. I would rather ride accordingly to less traction on the pavement, as long as it lasts on the pavement but lets me go off-road, which means I'm willing to deal with some noise, because tires that do well off-road tend to be noisy. So there we go. I have to edit this crap down now. Later.